And I know I've said this several times, but a reminder to anyone who lasted an hour, 6 minutes, and 25 seconds, this is for us to look back on and to watch as many times whenever we want to.
Yeah.
Hopefully, our children will keep Helloha rolling.
I know. I'm gonna be like. I was about to say I'll be like 80. I'm on the couch watching Helloha, but
Realistically, I'll be like 45, being like, "Come on, everyone, let's watch my prime."
And that we'll probably still be like filming then.
It's episode 623.
Welcome to the Helloha show. I'm Aubrey.
And I'm Amanda.
And we are so glad to have you back for another episode of the Helloha show.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome. What are we at? Is this
10? I want to say.
I kind of feel like we have more. Wasn't our most. I think because the workout one was 8, right?
Right.
Again, you guys don't realize how far out we go. Tomorrow. Next week will be 4th of July.
Right.
And the most recent episode that just came out was our Blogilates one. I think we have at least 2 before this one.
Because we have Enrique's episode next, Wedding Bells next, after that, and this. So, I mean, like...
The grind don't stop.
Honestly. Holy crap, and it's been like almost half a year now that we've been filming.
Which is pretty exciting, because I know some of you wanted to know when the heck we would be done with this, but no time soon.
Yeah. No end date to our contract. Thank you very much.
Yes, not yet. Should we start? I know we normally do like something ahead of time, but should we start with tea? I'm getting a little thirsty already.
I do, actually. And I haven't even taken a sip. Usually I already like take a couple sips, and I haven't.
Same.
And I'm like dying I'm like, ooh, I really want to try this.
I know. Do you have a new mug?
I brought a different mug today. From Sister got me this. I figured I would do this in honor of today's like episode, kind of to kind of tie it in. So I only use this on like special occasions.
I love it.
Got me this as a Christmas gift.
Beautiful. Should we cheers?
Yeah, of course.
I hope it's. Is it? I'm always afraid to burn myself.
I know.
Well, visually, right off the bat.
I was gonna say.
Visually, it is. I don't even want to mess the camera up, but it is red. The taste isn't really there though. Like, I can taste some fruit, but it's like very, very mild.
Right. I agree with you.
And I don't know if it's my cup, but it kind of has like a dirty taste to it. Like this is fresh out of the dishwasher. Or I shouldn't say dirty, I should say earthy.
Like dirt? I know what you're saying.
I'm not getting like a really pleasant smell either. So
it doesn't smell sweet or anything like you would think because of the like red.
Because of the color.
It is
Dan did not
add any honey or
I
anything.
me either to mine. So, because I was just gonna like ask him what he thought because I didn't know what to do.
Right.
I don't know why I was gonna ask him, but
He's becoming a professional along the way.
Mhm.
But my guess is just going to be raspberry, even though we've had a few of these.
Right.
Like, we've had raspberry to start off with, and we can see that it is Buddha teas, but that doesn't give me
Anything really.
any hints because they have thousands of flavors.
Mhm.
So my guess will be raspberry, and my quote is use your mind, don't let it use you. Kind of fitting in a scary way, um, but that could be taken however you want. You know, whatever situation you're in, you're going to apply it.
So how is your mind
Um,
you right
I
now?
feel like I'm going to take it like you have anxiety, so you're going to like think of
Mm,
if I said this, what if I said this? Like you start spiraling.
right.
So, like, you are in control. You can make decisions. So, you use your mind. Don't let it play these tricks.
I
So, I
like
feel like if you're in a vulnerable space, which I think this is a very vulnerable episode, it gets more difficult to like get control. What's your quote?
mine is all problems are illusions of the mind, which another like thought-provoking one of the mind from Buddha.
Thought provoking, and the fact that we both got
Mi-
mind ones. I wonder if it's this raspberry flavor is like triggering and powerful to the brain.
Right, and maybe so they did like the certain kind of quotes in that specific like tea flavor, if you will. So, oh, this is the hibiscus flavored tea.
Aloha.
Helloha official. So, interesting.
I am not getting that
I
though.
know,
Not that I ever chowed
but
down on
I think
a hibiscus.
I've had hibiscus before. Oh, that's what I was gonna tell you guys about. Also, the hibiscus journey that I planted today with all the rain that we've been having at the Grand Rapids Island. Finally, I've been watching it. My cousin Abby actually said, "Oh, isn't that the plant that has like the little Y?" Whenever she was here, like it looks like a Y, like the sticks, like how it grows. And I was like, "Oh,
What's
I don't know anything about it." So I looked. She's like, "That needs a lot of water." And I was like, "Okay, good tip." She's like, "So since it's been raining like cats and dogs, it's been getting all the water it needs." I saw like but like some buds on it, but now so many. Today I was out there in between the showers. Bloom. A bloom. A beautiful Helloha bloom. I'll get a photo tomorrow.
oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm. So
So
we'll
like I guess I don't realize the climate for hibiscus flowers getting that much rain. Like totally have no idea,
right,
just assuming it's Hawaiian or something. But like I didn't realize the rainfall there. But
right.
oh my god, oh my god. Guys, this just in. The baby deer. There's mom. And where'd she go? I'm gonna spook her. There she is. Can you see her? Hi. You are so tiny. It's
What is
okay.
that?
Oh, I scared her. That must be the mom.
That was the mom.
I think that's the mom. Aloha.
Hello.
Oh, there's another one over there if you can see.
Oh yeah, I see.
But the baby never went into the front yard before.
Oh.
Sorry guys, you're getting a close up of all of my skin imperfections.
Hello.
Aloha.
Oh hey.
Sorry. Sorry, fans. I know your time is precious.
Ooh. Ooh.
Hibiscus flower.
Look, we might have him here for the whole, or the mom here for the whole time. She's still chilling behind you.
Yeah.
I love it. You're frozen. Uh-oh. Helloha?
Are we frozen?
Okay, you're back.
Helloha, sorry. Probably moving around. I'll have to stay put. Sorry, producer. You're probably going to have to edit some of that.
I think you're back.
Okay, so Helloha blooms terrific.
Amazing. And more to come. Like many more blooms. Mm-hmm. So, couldn't believe that.
Wonderful.
Was there something else?
Did we have a winner?
Yes. So guys, we are so sorry that we let this slip. We talked about this a few episodes ago, and we had someone actually reach out because the Blogalotties episode, we had 2 winners of the traditional medicinals coupons, for the $1 off coupons for the boxes of tea. But it was mentioned to us by another loyal fan reached out and said, hey, I was really interested and excited, thought you were gonna announce the winner to the other giveaway on that episode.
Because I feel like that one was first.
Before, yeah, so shame on us. Thank you for calling us out. Anthony, actually, we're on a first name basis now that he reached out. Let me see. But just to give your handle a shout out here, Dash 119. If you guys want to go ahead and give him a follow, that's Dash DASH 119. That's our now friend Anthony. He said, hey, what about this men's face mask that was going to be up grabs in a contest on that one episode that you guys talked about? Did I miss something? I really wanted, was looking
sorry for the panic.
So we are actually, since you reached out and were so candid, we are going to be sending that to you in the mail. So we are just so grateful for your viewership and continued support of Helloha. So thank you for that, Anthony.
Yes, thank you.
Was that the hubby?
Yeah, he's alerting me about the deer behind when I should alert him about the fawn in the front yard. So he just ran away to go see it. Should we get started? I'm going to be honest right off the bat. Sorry, Buddha. I'm not feeling this one. I have to go to LaCroix. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm like,
maybe maybe we steeped it wrong, or like the fact that we have the bag in it, maybe it's making it bitter.
But I'm like,
it's kind of sour.
It is now that I have the tea bag still in it. Like sour.
Not feeling it.
Can we pause this real quick? I want to take a bathroom break.
Yeah, producer. I'll talk to him.
Okay.
I think it's too dark out here now to capture the baby. Oh my God, guys. The fawn is back. I just cannot handle it. I just can't. I cannot zoom, which is a tragedy. But hopefully you can see that little nugget next to Mama. Adorable. We just cut our grass, so have things that need placed back into the yard. But wow, what an exciting episode so far. Love it.
We're back.
Should we do a cheers for our second beverage?
Cheers.
I love the tangerine. I feel like it's the strongest LaCroix flavor so far.
I like the tangerine one too.
Shame on me for trying to be like a person. I was always saying LaCroix, but the website actually was saying like it's supposed to rhyme with enjoy, so it's LaCroix.
Oh.
And I was like, Okay.
How do we go about winning one of those LaCroix contests?
Like, what more do
They're
we
all
have to do?
those contests. Like, I want to win all that water. I would love a 24 pack.
Why not?
I mean, what gives? I drink we drink sparkling water here like it's literally going out of style. Like,
Mhm.
Evan's
I drink
like
this more than like normal.
Evan will be like, "Oh my gosh, are we out of the lemon kind of like spin?" I'm like, "Does it look like we're out? Do you want to go ahead? Do you want to go buy some?"
You want to
Yeah.
take that upon yourself?
You want to go pick
Um,
some up, but so guys, back to it. This episode is going to be about how, and this is gonna be my first time running through this pretty much. And Amanda, I'm really excited to be talking through this with you because you're just gonna get it. No questions asked. Half the time I feel like I'm sitting just thinking about these things in my mind. I'm these signs are just too crazy, but I know I just truly believe it, and it's just bringing me so much peace knowing that without a doubt in my mind this is absolutely my path. There's nothing else. There's no other way to describe it than there's just no other freaking way to describe it. So guys, here's what happened. In September, my pap passed away, as you know, and he was literally my best friend. He knew everything that went on in my life, you name it, closer with him than any other male family member or any other friend. Besides Evan, he's the closest to me, more than anything else. So it's so okay. Evan and I, this is going to be strictly about the house. We are casually looking for as long as I can remember, we would be just casually looking for a house. Evan and I, oh, okay, Evan's looking on Zillow, whatever, once every few weeks, just popping it up, okay, whatever. Because we were we have a very specific laundry list of where we would want to live, our budget, everything, as I'm sure everyone in the world does. And so specific that for this area, it would be practically impossible to find the house that we would want to live in. With it, we thought we would be renting that house, the shack that we were in, for the next at least 5 to 7 years. We thought I don't know if you knew that. We thought we were going to be there we thought we were going to get rid of the roommate, but we thought we were going to be there for at least that long. And
wow.
That's why I went to town on a full on perennial garden and everything last summer, spent so much money. I really did a lot around that house, outdoor landscaping and everything, just because I liked it, and I thought whatever, we'll be here for a while, I'll just make the best of it, even though it's not
right.
what I like it, at least in the summer, to look at and that's just what I like to do. So okay, so and going backwards, let's talk about things in quarters. So quarters of your life, so what is it, January through April, quarter one, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Right, through end of March, or no, end of March, yeah, right? 3, 6, 9, 12. Yeah, so end of March. So January through end of March. Okay. So 3, 6, 9, 12 months in a year.
The goose drank wine.
Year. So, anyways, regardless, I have this in red. So we did the math. Anyways, quarter 3 of 2020 is whenever my pap passes away. And I say this in quarters too, because there's quarters of your life is like a way I like to think of things, just like in general, like you would like. And then, and also my pap loves the game like scat, and we like quarters is what you win. So like he would always be like, bring your freaking quarters every time you would go over there. So like, okay. So, but the part of the quarters is kind of me just being like a little bit like over the top, but that's another connection that I made. So quarter 3 of 2020, Pat passes away. Quarter 4, New Year's Eve, literally, our friend Nick is over at our house at the shack. And he has like these alerts set to his phone where he like looks at houses casually. And then a house. Oh, but guys, so we've been on this river where, so specifically, we knew there were 5 houses within this like 7-mile stretch that we realistically would be able to afford. Like there was no, and like we like would look at the people like and they like be like, are these people like, what's their story? Are we gonna like write them letters to see if they'll sell to us? Like, do these people like look old? Like you know what I mean? So, and we've never made it this far down. This is like this far down the river. It's just about half, if not a quarter of a mile further than we've ever taken our boat before, because it gets like pretty shallow. Oh my gosh. Oh, wow.
I couldn't tell if you can hear these things or not.
You never knew if you could make it down, but like thankfully you can, because we wouldn't have ended up getting the house. So this mystery like house just pops up. So New Year's Eve, Nick is like, hey, wow, look at this. And it like it hands the phone to Evan. We're looking at it. We're like, wow, like what? It's on the like everything on the checklist. Evan hands the phone to me. I'm like, oh my gosh, look at this like beautiful home, like gorgeous, like completely redone. Don't have to do anything to it. So we're like, okay, like let's drive by. Like that night, New Year's Eve, we're like, wow, what a tame evening. So Evan and I get in the car. It's like less than 5 minutes from the shack. Get in. We're like, we just like sit in the driveway. We're like, oh my gosh, like can we go view this tomorrow? Probably not, because it's New Year's Day. But Evan has a friend that's a realtor, so he calls him that night, New Year's Eve. We're like, hello, like can you please like get me in to see this house, because we don't want to do it like through a random Zillow person. Like we need to get in to see this house, because it would like be sold like that. So he gets us in. We were like the first viewing of it. But one person did put in an offer before us, but they declined it. And then, which thank God, Evan didn't even go inside the house. Was like, this is our house. I walked in, was in love with it. But so that was literally quarter 4. It just falls into our lap. Quarter 1, we like actually close on it. Okay. And then we're like waiting, playing the waiting game, which I know for a fact, my pap's up there watching all of this go down in the shack, and he's like, oh, get my girl out of there now. Like, now. And he's like, I don't care, like, get her out. Like, now. I know that's exactly what happened. So we're waiting, all this shit. And then finally, because we were supposed to move in like how many times? And then we finally spent the first night here, April 1st, which was April Fool's Day and first day of quarter 2 of 2021. So, okay, this is where we're getting into like the real true signs, which all along, like, I'm like, okay, Pat definitely, like, this whole time, I'm like, he's giving me this house because, like, how, like, just, like, how did something, like, so great happen just to fall into our lap like this? Right. So, we get the call finally, like the day or the night that we were like allowed to finally come get it.
Yeah.
Like, okay. So Jared calls the realtor. He's like, so he's like, this is like the most bizarre thing. He's like, I've sold so many houses, but I've never come across this. Never even heard of this. He's like, I promise you, he's like, these people say that they've never locked their house and they don't even have like a key to the house. They don't even know like where it is. Like they just don't believe in locking the doors. And so he's like, so it's unlocked and like open, it's yours. You guys can go over. You just can't lock the door. And we're like, what? I mean, okay. So like we come over. And so right off the bat, I'm just like laughing. Because the biggest like joke in our family is like, and everyone has a problem with it, like my pap will do anything to not lock the doors at his house, no matter what. He would not lock the doors.
I didn't know this until right now.
Really? Like, no, you don't lock the doors there. And then everyone would be like, but I'm sleeping on the couch or something if they would sleep over. Someone could just walk right in. Someone could walk right in and rob you, and he'd be like, no one's gonna take anything. No one's just gonna come in. And whenever he was in the hospital, like, or no, whenever he like fell, like more recently, whenever he was going to the hospital,
Yeah.
last time, and my mom and Aunt Debbie were at his house, like after they had brought him back home. My mom said she was like sitting there in the living room or at the kitchen table with him, and he's like, girls, because an ambulance like had to come and get him. Girls, what do you think would have happened if that door would have been locked? He's like, what do you think would have happened? And they're like, he's like, I was on the floor, I couldn't get to the door. They're like, I guess they would have had to break the door down. He's like, and who do you think would have paid for that? He's like, He's like,
He's
yeah,
serious.
unlock the, like, that's why we leave these doors unlocked. That's why the doors stay unlocked. But like, he never locked, like our whole lives, he like never locked the door. So like, that's the running joke is like, you don't lock the doors.
That one's crazy.
But so like, just like, what? Like, that was bizarre. That like, so like, okay, Pat didn't lock the door. Like, okay, you just like get a house, but like, there's no key to it. Like, I open up this closet that had like just like old paint and like tiles and stuff in it, and just like random crap for like just like utility stuff. Nothing else is in this. If you guys know my pap, what he like did all the time were puzzles, specifically 1,000-piece puzzles. Like that's all he like.
That's it.
He would glue them up, whatever.
Aww.
So I literally like opened this closet, and the only thing in it besides all of this like other stuff, which I have a picture of it, which we'll post on here, is this 1,000-piece puzzle in this closet. And I'm like my heart literally stopped. I'm like, oh my gosh, like it is.
I see you.
Has to be like, how does this just happen? Like,
and the fact that it was like paint and like other household things,
like,
not like fun.
I just leave a puzzle, like it's only just like paint and like random like floor tiles and stuff in there. Like, what? And then if you want to even get like crazier, which I just did last night, I pulled the puzzle out. Like, this is it.
Aww.
If you want to even analyze it even more, like my crazy brain, which you want to go into it that far, is there are 7 big hot air balloons. I think that's what they are, hot air balloons.
Yep.
There are 7 grandchildren, and then there's 2 boats in the water, and there's 2 daughters. So if you want to get like even like crazier, because my mom and I, like, whenever in his entryway, he has like another puzzle at his house that has like 7 birds on it for like the 7 grandkids, and then like two things for like my mom and my aunt. So I'm like, okay, that's just like,
I didn't hear this part before either.
yeah, like I'm like, you can't make this stuff up. Like that is so like, hello.
Huh?
And then another thing that happened, like the very first, oh yeah, it's like getting like dark.
Sorry.
Videos.
It's like looks way darker on the screen now. It's like the opposite. Continue. Please disregard my moving.
So I was cleaning that like one of the next couple days we're here in the bathroom. I think I might have told you is cleaning the bathroom, and like I don't know, I want to say it's like whatever the specific smell was that was like upstairs in my, I'm sure I'll be like, oh, I know that's like anyone can smell that same smell. The smell is so specific. I've never smelled it in my entire life before, but in their bathroom upstairs that they had. In this one cabinet that I had in my bathroom, just like smelled so much of their one bathroom. It was like the best smell ever. Like every time we would go up there and like get a bath, and like we would like get our back nice and like washed from grandma. Like it would be like the best thing in the world. We'd be like, can you like wash our back for another like 5 minutes? I guess, yeah. But the most distinct scent I've ever smelled. I'm like, oh my gosh, grandma's here. Like this is like they're here. Like I'm like, anything I do, I'm like they are like within inches of me, and like I just think that like they are.
They say smells are like, of course they can say this, and this, and this are very common, but like for whatever reason, smells and something else that I can't remember are like the top ones of like, hello, like I am here, you better recognize.
I'm like, I'm like, this is like, you like the smells like you can recognize so like vividly. I love them. The next thing is like I'm just giving you like the very big ones, like that were like,
yeah,
oh my gosh, like
no doubt
in my mind at all. So mom was here. Yeah, I think this is the next one. Is mom was here visiting, and she like, and I like walked down to the water for the first time to like look at it. She hadn't seen it, and so whenever my grandma first passed away, it was in the summertime in July, and my mom and I were on the phone like right after that, and like we were both getting a bunch of signs then, she and I were, and she was pumping gas. So this is like a backstory to this sign I'm about to bring up. She was pumping gas on the phone with me, and my grandma and I are like, things were like snowflakes together. Like we like collected snowflakes. This is a joke. That's a whole other episode. But she was pumping gas. It was like August, so like why she would ever even find this like falling at her foot in a gas, it was like one of those like tinseled like a thing like that fell off of a Christmas decoration that was like an actual like snowflake, but it like literally like fell at her like big toe while she was like pumping gas and like on the phone with me, and it was just like really bizarre. And she's like, oh my gosh, Aubrey, like while she's on the phone with me, and she like pulled it up, and like, so that happened like in the middle of the summer. So like she's like, okay,
creepy,
like
in a good way.
Yeah, so she like picked it up and like gave it to me, like, and kept it. She like kept that. So okay, 5 years later, we're literally in my yard here, I'm just showing her the freaking river. Okay, and I have this huge yard, Amanda, like giant. And I'm not like looking at the ground every 10 steps, like every step, it would be
Right.
impossible. Like, so the same, I'm outside with my mom here. The same freaking little piece of, I think it was a different color though. I'm like, oh my gosh. I looked down, literally at my foot is a piece of, and I have it here. It's not in front of me at the table. Should have been better prepared. This Christmas tree, like snowflake tinsel at my foot. Like, what? Like, are you literally kidding me right now? My mom and I both just like looked at each other like, are you kidding me? Like,
And the fact that both of you were together is like,
right,
she knew that you were both on the phone before.
right.
So
Both like made that connection, and then we both were like, we knew that that was her. Like, obviously that's her.
that's crazy. Like legit
that
crazy.
is legitimately like insane. Like, that is in my heart of heart. Like, I believe that like more than I believe anything. Like, that is absolutely
It's too random to not.
right to be anything else. Like, um, so those are like my biggest ones from like moving in here. But there is one other thing. Part to this is I truly believe like this whole time, because like with my past passing away and everything, like his house is like, I never wanted them to get rid of it ever. If anything, like I was the one that was always like, oh please, like can we keep it? Like,
Yeah.
but it just like needs a lot of work to like maintain. Like, they're like, Aubrey, you live the farthest away out of anyone in the family. You're not gonna be like here every winter, like keeping up with it and like paying to like keep the heat on and everything. So I'm like, okay, I guess you're right. But like, wouldn't it be fun if we all just like pitched in and then we could do holidays there together? So wish that could happen, but so I guess like he was I guess like he's preparing us to like, he made something happen to like make it happen sooner, because this winter like there was like a bunch of like water damage to the house, so they had to get it like so like kind of like redone, like some of the floors, and I guess like it was slightly a blessing because like they had to like rip up some of the carpet, so like there's like hardwood floor in a lot of the rooms, so it looks like better to sell.
Yeah.
Some of the ceilings redone, and insurance like covered that. But and it's a lot of work for like mom to work on, to like go through all of that stuff.
Plus
and
it's
just
like far
like,
still for her.
yeah, and it's like, and just like it being like still like recent, like having
Difficult.
like can't really like go through any of like grandma's stuff even like still.
That's right.
Like, so it's just sucks that it had to be done like right now. But and then here's my even crazier thinking is like, it was finally posted last night, the house online. But my even crazier thinking is like, oh, okay, like, so like perhaps like, okay, well it's time, I guess, like I'll give up my house and then like we can give Aubrey this house. I think like that was like kind of his thinking is like, okay, like
Don't be so sad that you're losing this because you're gaining this,
because
and like I'm here.
because I've always said like, and I look back at old posts that I've made like of like pictures of his house and stuff, and I'd be like, my favorite place on earth, like literally, and that's like what I've wrote like my favorite place on earth, and that's what I've always said, like that is my favorite place to go, like no matter what. I always loved being up there, like around all of his flowers, like that's all I ever wanted to do whenever I was younger. Like I remember one time I was like making like I'd be like I need the last part I almost forgot. So I need to write that down. But I was like, I need to collect all of these rocks and like make like a freaking like I was like making like rock walls and everything like for him like on the, like the ground and like doing like moving stuff around like whenever I was young like and like would just like
Aw.
taping and stuff like that was like fun and I would bring all like the stuff like Rose of Sharon's, Black Eyed Susans, all that stuff to my mom's house and plant it there. And he like taught me how to do all that like whenever I was like young. So I like grew up doing that with him. So like I was able to go back and get all that. But and then like so that's what I just think is like he's like, all right, I guess like we'll give this up to
You have time to pick this up so you can bring this
yeah.
physical piece with
Mhm.
you while I bring some, I don't even know what the word for that, like, it's not physical, but it's there. So at least you had something tangible that, like, you remember. I mean, that's not the only thing, of course, but
And yeah, and like how like like I literally like have like dug up like his actual like flowers and stuff that will come up every single year.
mhm,
Like so like I'm glad that I was able to do that. Like that was
yeah,
like the for me. And so I'll have those like the rest of my life. Like I'm not moving like I'm not going anywhere. I was telling Evan the other day, I was like, if you think for 1 second he's like, duh, we're living here forever. But I was like,
that's
if
good.
for 1 second we would ever leave this place, you were out of your mind. I was like, this is like, and I was like, now this is my favorite place on earth, like here. And I was like, this is it.
Everything.
Like, it's everything. So last part of this is I was saying like whenever I started doing my garden that I was inspired to do, my flower garden,
Mhm.
one of them, the first one I'll say, is I was like, oh, I need a wheelbarrow. Like, all right. Even though it's like not expensive to buy one, but I'm like, all right, out of like every other thing that I'm
Things
like,
add up.
hey, we need this, we need this, we need this. Like, yeah. So then I'm like, oh, okay, well, whenever I go to Pat's, maybe like that's what I'll get is a wheelbarrow. Like, meanwhile, like, took up a lot of space in the car.
I was just thinking, after all the plants, now a wheelbarrow with how many other girls in the car?
Literally had to, well, yeah, had to get a rental car too. I was planning to get a rental car. But
Okay.
the whole other episode, rental cars are really expensive now for one day, like $300. And you can only get a standard car. Like I wanted a minivan. You can't even get
Mhm.
that. Whole other episode, whole other bull crap. But okay, so I'm like, it would be really nice to get a wheelbarrow, whatever, but like I know that if I can't, okay, we'll see if it'll fit.
Mhm.
So I'm like, okay, chances are, whatever, we'll see. So Pap has this shed. Like, I'll have to have mom take a picture of it because like this shed's been falling over for years. And also, I have there's this table and chairs that we always use, this little tiny table and chairs that even mom and Aunt Debbie used whenever they were growing up. That I have the table that I've been using like as a bedside table, and like I have it here now like randomly, like
Yeah.
it's a good table to like use for whatever. So I've had the table. My pap has always been keeping the chair, the little like it's like a child's chair. It's like a child-sized table.
Yeah.
He's kept the one chair for me in his closet, which no one knew about. But I was like telling my mom, I was like, Mom, I know. I was like, I was like, this one chair is in Pap's like like his clothing closet. I was like, make sure no one like does anything with it. Like he like kept it in his clothing closet for me, like just so you know, that's where it is. And she's like, oh my gosh, like I saw it is in there. And I was like, so there was a second chair that for years he's like, I have no idea whatever happened to that. Like grandma never knew either. Like, so just keep that in the back of your mind. Like for years, like years, no one knew
Where'd it go?
So I like peek into this shed that's like literally falling over like this. Like this is the roof. Like shed is like not safe.
It's decrepit.
It is not safe for me to walk into this shed. So I like peek in. And like, what are the 2 items in this shed, Amanda? Like, I am not kidding you. In the shed was this freaking wheelbarrow that like looked like this wheelbarrow that was like looked like it was in pristine condition, like honestly. And the other
chair,
and like it was like in the back of the shed, like thrown upside down. I'm like,
that made my stomach flip. Like when you're like, first of all describing the shed, I'm like, okay, so like you're gonna find something in there. Not thinking, like, I don't know why my brain didn't even think that, but as soon as you said 2 items, I was just like, gotta be a freaking joke.
like, and like,
How? Especially because both of them didn't know. So like, how? Like,
right,
once
like,
you go to a different level.
Right, he had no idea where this chair had been. Like, he's like, oh, like we probably must have gotten rid of. Like, I have no idea. It's like for years and years. Like, grandma didn't know where it was. Like nothing. And like the shed like hadn't been used in so long. It was like literally falling over. And like that, and those were like the only like everything else like you could.
So far, that's like
you could like get out of there. Like
that's this one is like
because like it was just so like unusable. Like, and those were the only 2 things that you could literally even see that were actual items and like could pull out and use. Like, what is that?
I think out of everything that you've said so far, like the other ones are crazy. Like the snowflake is crazy. But like for whatever reason, like my interpretation is like that's like, and I don't have a better word. Like I'm keep saying creepy. Like it's, I don't mean it as in creepy, but like that's creepy. Like out of anything that could have been in there, and you went there wanting the wheelbarrow and then talking about the chair, but like the fact that like I can just imagine looking in and seeing it, and I would have felt like either I'd have to turn around and like someone would be there, like them, or like, like it's giving me like goosebumps on my face, which I don't even know how it's possible.
Like I know, and then just like the fact like bringing the wheelbarrow back, like, and like the whole thing was just such a like bringing it back was a hassle, which is funny because like like I'm like, no, like we got to get this in here. Like there was like no way, like mom getting it in her car too, like to take it back to my parents' house, like just to get it there was a mess because that day whenever I first got it out, it was pouring, so then the wheelbarrow got all wet, and I left it out that day. Oh. We went back the next day then to pick it up with like all like because then I finished the plant job. Those were the 2 days that I was getting the poison ivy. But it's just like and the key, like the key thing, like
I think it's awesome on like several levels. Like I would think if my mom passed when I was older that I would be able to like grasp or like make connections to things that were happening. Like it's been so long too that like when you're saying things like this, I'm like, I know exactly what you mean, but like it's starting to fade like what made me have that reaction or like what the experience was. Um, but I would like I love that you're having these and like that you can remember them and like I feel like as you get older in life you have different experiences so it's like you can relate this to this and this to that and this to this time and this when you were little like the smell in the back like I love it. I love it.
I love it. I like. Okay, people could be like, yeah, Aubrey, you're like, okay, whatever. You saw a puzzle, great. Like, whatever. Okay, there
It's
was
more than that.
front door, great. Okay, like, great. You got a house, like, okay, but yeah, like, what, like, how? But okay, it's just like I don't know, just like, oh, and like the whole thing. I was looking at the posting of. I always thought that my pap's house was like his like actual like plot of land and everything was like bigger than like where we live, like here at my new house.
Oh, okay.
It's like the exact same amount of space. His is listed as 1.01 acres, and ours is listed as 1.02 acres. Like, I'm like, oh, like, I was like, I knew we had a lot of space here, but like, I didn't realize we like literally have like as much space as Pap and Graham.
And he knew it was your favorite place on earth, so he's bringing as much of him.
Literally, to like, and just like give it like, okay, like it's time, like, it's just that it's happening at the same time, like getting, like, okay, it's, how else would you explain this? Like, I can't think of any other way, and it's just like, I mean, I'm sure there's a million other ways that other people could think of, but I like thinking of it this way because it just helps me. And I think, like, I mean,
Plus, you're going, like, they don't know the steps, like, what actually happened throughout the process. Like, yeah, I got a house, but you don't know everything prior to that.
right.
So, but I also agree, like, and I know I mentioned talking to you before, like, when it's still fresh, which I consider his passing
Right.
fairly
Yeah.
soon still,
Mm-hmm.
like, you're going to, I'm just like blanking on good words,
Right.
like creepy,
Things
like you're reaching almost,
Mhm.
but it's because you want comforted. But these are things that like you don't just reach for and can happen. Like these are specific things. And I feel like it was funny because the I very rarely get signs anymore like related to anyone and if anyone I always just assume that it would be my mom. Like I have an aunt that passed, my grandma and my other grandpa like was never close with, so it's like why would I have signs? But on my mom's anniversary, I got a piece of mail in Pittsburgh with her name addressed to it. Like, my family never lived in Pittsburgh. My mom never lived in Pittsburgh. And I got a piece of mail, like, not when we first moved here, but like for a couple months. And I was just like, Dad's putting my name down on stuff to get like free magazines or something, and it's coming to my house. But like, I went to the mailbox on June 15th, which is the anniversary, and the only piece of mail, which like for the past couple weeks, it's like at least 3 pieces
Right.
with a flyer or something, but that was the only piece of mail. And like, again, I'm at the stage where it's like things don't catch me off guard. And like, it can put you either in a really good mood or a really bad mood, depending on what else is going on.
Right.
But I was just like, oh, that's weird. And then I was like, wait, that's really weird. So I'm just taking it as like, hi, like, I know that you're still thinking, but like, that was just strange. And that could also have been a reach on my end, but also like, this could have happened the day before or the day after
Right.
that, and the day of.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's awesome. Like, I think that's definitely her being like, oh, hey.
What's a little selfish of me though, I will say, when I was when I was Snow White in my dance company, It was like the lead, I was Snow White. And I recall doing a piece of my solo, and like from the time my mom passed to that point, I probably have done like 30 something performances, like whether it be on a big stage or a little stage. Like it wasn't like the first time since or anything like that. But I can't even really describe like what happened, because it wasn't like a vision or something, but like I remember I was on the stage, obviously performing towards the audience, and to the right, which would be like between the balcony and the floor, I just remember like being gravitated to like look that way, because I normally would be like scanning the audience, like
Right.
oh, so and so here, like, which I shouldn't be doing, but like for whatever reason, like that wasn't happening, and I was just like kept looking, and it was like for whatever reason, like I knew it was my mom. Like it was like something was communicating some way and a feeling, and I was just like, holy shit, like what? And I never had like a moment like that before, but I can just imagine like, oh, I'm watching you do your biggest performance, like versus like roles in Nutcracker, which could be considered big, but like it was different because it was like something else. And then the night before I graduated college, I had like a dream with her in it. And normally they're all pretty depressing, and I'm not going to go into details with it. But I was kind of expecting like more of those dreams, like with these big events that have happened recently, but they haven't. So I'm just kind of like, hello, I'm waiting. Hello.
Right. Aww.
So it's just, but I know it's going to happen like if I'm like super stressed out, or like another really happy moment will happen. So it's just like they say that it's very, very difficult for like spirit to like break through this like other wall. And I'm taking it more as she like knows I'm more at peace, and that I don't need this message, that she knows that like it's just happening.
Did you end up keeping it?
I think the first piece of mail that I got here with her name on it, I was like considering, but then I'm just like, the memory and knowing like the experience, because like I like to keep things, but like they have to have more meaning than that. So I think looking at this, I did like stand in the driveway for like 3 minutes. Like usually people say like 10 minutes when it's exaggerated, but I think it was really like 3 minutes where I was just like, okay, I hear you. Like,
right.
Got your message. Thank you. Like, hope you're partying up there with a lot of good company that you recently acquired.
Yeah.
But, dang.
Yeah.
What else you got? I don't even know if I can handle the freaking wheelbarrow in the chair.
No,
like,
that was the wheelbarrow was what I wrote down. I almost forgot that for the end, but.
That's wild.
Yeah. Oh, and then but he gave me a really great neighbor too that like I can go to for like anything, like gardening, knows everything, like.
Yep. Got you. Thank you.
Which I also think she was a birthday gift, because like my birthday was like I was really dreading it, and she was like, we like didn't really talk at all, like me and the neighbor, like she kept, like trying to like, hey, like we would just like talk in passing, but like never really. And then like my birthday weekend, I think, was like the first time I like spent time with her, and like I ended up going over there just to like plant a couple things in her garden because she had extra space, and was like, hey, yeah, like come on over, like I wanna like. She's like, yeah, please. Because she said she like wants to like teach me the ropes and stuff, and she's just like really nice, easy to get along with, and I don't know why I just like have been like putting it off and waiting to like go over and spend time with her, but I ended up spending like 2.5 hours over there, like walking through like her whole backyard and like looking at all of her like plants and like trees and stuff, and like. Aww. And she's like, oh yeah, she's like, well, we're gonna be good friends, and I was like, okay, I hope you can handle it.
Yeah, can you handle this?
I
A
hope-
lot of people can't, guys.
And she's like, we're gonna do like canning and stuff. Like she's gonna like teach me like all this. I'm like, okay, cool. Like literally like get ready. So like
Awesome. Happy birthday. Love, Pat.
yeah, I'm like, thank you. Yeah, so keep you posted as if anything else, like
Yeah.
yeah, and that'll definitely be though, I wanted to do this now though, because like that was planning to be like the last time that I'll be frozen. The last time I'll
Sorry.
most likely be at his house since it's on the market now. So.
Yeah. Yeah. It's always tough too because I feel like you brought up sorry, my AirPods before like went down and now I'm somehow at 20%. Anyway, I think it's like people always forget how difficult it is. Like, yes, they pass, but like all of the things that need done. Like, I know that my dad dealt with my mom the best way he could, but like looking back, it's like I really wish not only was I older for multiple reasons, but like that we could have extended like the going through her things and deciding what to keep, especially clothing wise, because we are pretty much the same exact like build and everything. I'm
You
like,
guys look identical from
yeah,
all of
she looks in the pictures when she was younger much lankier than me, but I'm an inch taller than she was, and
Oh, really? Not
yeah, and then like her mom was shorter than her, and then Nani was even shorter, like probably midget
oh my
status.
gosh.
So, but it's like, what are you supposed to do? Like, dread having to do these things, or like pushing through the best you can, or like putting a house up? Like my dad having to deal with that with his sister. That was difficult, like watching him as I was older. Like, this is poopy. Like, there's no other way to say it. Like, and then a few years later, his mom's, and it's just like, how many losses can like one person like
Right.
endure? And it's just like one is already too much, even though it's like a part of life, obviously. But it's just like, people always like think like, oh, it's been a few months. They're probably,
Right.
you know, getting better. It's like there's still stuff that needs done, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
But
And
it does.
and like all like so time.
None of it is fast and easy.
Yeah.
Like it's all like, not only do you not want to do it,
Jobs like
and you get, what is it like? I don't even know if a lot of companies, they'll give you like 3 days for immediate pay. Like that's bull. I would love to know what like other countries get, since like I know we talked about maternity leave before, like 3 months versus like a year in other countries, and it's just like, come
Right.
on,
yeah,
like
we should look that up.
we need a stat for that.
Maybe we'll get a petition started. Maybe we'll be the people to roll out a new grieving policy in the US.
That would be some shit.
Could you imagine? And then that's how we retire.
Forget the black walnuts. We're on to bigger things.
Oh, speaking of, Mom does have someone coming up to look at the black one. Just because for peace of mind. Oh yeah, did I text you that for peace of mind?
I hope something comes of it.
In either way, we'll just like to know. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess we can wrap up the episode at least. So
I'm sure we'll have
some drop off.
yeah. Or like if you think of things, I know that most of our followers respond more to the shorts than the episodes. And I know I've said this several times, but a reminder to anyone who lasted an hour, 6 minutes, and 25 seconds, this is for us to look back on and to watch as many times whenever we want to. Hopefully our children will keep Helloha rolling.
They'll be watching it.
I mean, I put on the Blog
Yeah.
Lotties episode, and Dan was cracking up a little bit watching it, and I was like, I gotta go film another episode. Can't watch. Bye.
I love it. I know. I'm gonna be like, I was about to say I'll be like 80. I'm on the couch watching Helloha, but
Realistically, I'll be like 45, being like, come on, everyone, let's watch my prime.
And that we'll probably still be like filming then.
It's episode 623. Producer will definitely have moved on to legit Hollywood at that point.
Right,
so,
right.
Producer, thank you for your tireless hours.
Yeah, thank you. Hopefully, by this time, we have some big. We don't want to jinx anything. I won't even say anything, but
I know where you're going.
So, anyways, until next time, hope you guys enjoyed this. It was nice to talk about. So until next time, Helloha.
Helloha.
She's still chilling behind you.
Yeah.
I love it. You're frozen. Uh-oh. Helloha?